Welcome to Porch Play Chat, sponsored by the American Association for Promoting the Child's Right to Play, or more affectionately named IPA-USA. IPA-USA is the USA affiliate of the International World Association, and as part of our efforts to promote play, we're really happy to introduce these Porch Play Chats. I get my P's wrong. These are conversations that focus on a wide range of topics, all from experts who are as passionate about play as we are. You can find the latest Porch Play Chats and learn more about IPA USA on Instagram or Facebook, or by visiting our website at ipausa.org. I'm Deb Lawrence, and I'm the president of IPA USA, and joining us on the porch is Lisa Murphy. Hey, Lisa.
Hello, nice to see you.
Lisa's one of our board members, and then today's special guest is Whitney Woodward, who is the secretary of IPA USA on the IPA USA board. And Whitney, I'm going to turn it over to you. Her topic is all about playing through exhaustion. Oh my. Well, here we go. Seems so appropriate right now.
I'm tired. No, so I'm so excited to be here, and I do apologize that I'm not on a porch. I'm in Atlanta, and it's raining today, which kind of sums up this entire month, but that's okay. We're playing through it. We're getting muddy. So I'm in one job now, and in a couple weeks I'll be in different jobs. So for the past 6 years, I've been the executive director of a preschool and a daycare. And this fall, I'm going to be going back into the classroom teaching, which I'm thrilled about. And I'm also the mother to 3 elementary school age children who have been home with me since March. I'm actually, the school I'm at, we reopened a week ago, so I'm back at work. And I was really interested in talking about playing through exhaustion because I know for my house, my husband and I are, and we're one of the lucky ones. I want to say this as a caveat. We are very lucky in that we are both still working for a while from home until recently. Everybody's healthy, everybody's fine, but like everybody in today's day and age, it's such a strange time to be alive. I mean, my husband keeps saying, what a time to be alive, and it is just wild right now. And we're exhausted. And again, we're lucky ones because our children are old enough to get cereal out of the pantry by themselves. Like we don't have toddlers. I can tell you, the parents that are coming into my school right now, it's just like glazed over look. And the communication that's been going out from a lot of places is like ways to help your child play. And all I can think is my children had pirate's booty. True story. My children had pirate's booty and string cheese for dinner the other night because I gave up, and I was thrilled that they got more than one food group. So I just wanted to kind of talk about how as parents and educators, everyone's so burnt out. And again, these are in the best of situations, especially for families who are maybe struggling with loss of employment or someone sick in their household. And these truly, heavy world changes right now. And then thinking, how am I providing that play space for my child? Because I know we all know that playing is as critical as breathing and nutrition, but kind of how to get that message out when you're just so bone tired, and the necessity for adults to find that playtime too. It's really been weighing on me because also on the flip side, and sorry, because I am so tired, it's a little word soup right now, but on the flip side, making sure for the amount of screen time, as we're all on screens right now on porches, the amount of screen time that children have had, how can really tired, exhausted, preoccupied people provide play space for their families and their loved ones? That was what I was thinking.
I like it. I like it because, I think everyone is exhausted. You're either exhausted by Zoom technology because you're meeting with other people. So how would we take that exhaustion and what can we do in our homes with our children to ensure that they're getting that not screen time play, but real active play when we're so tired?
Because I know that one of the few things that's worked in my house, and I've got three kids, and I feel like with every child you have, you kind of like lower your expectations in all other parts of your life. So it's like we've just like sacrificed parts of our house to, there's a room that was filled with Scotch tape for a while. I mean, until the bugs started attaching to it, like it was fine, and then, there's a lot more dog hair in the house. There's, things that we've just kind of had to give up on. But, I'd be curious to know, again, because all of us know how play can reinvigorate us, but, kind of how do you get back to that boost? How do you find that reset button? For finding the joy in it, because I think that's something that a lot of people are missing right now too, is that joy.
Do you find though, and I'm not a therapist, nor do I play what on TV.
Get in it, girl.
I'm thinking about Maslow, as I have been for almost all of COVID. And I think the first couple of weeks that it was impacting me directly. So I'm thinking late March. And I actually, on record, was like, I'm in Maslow's basement, guys. Like, I'm not even in the bottom rung. I am in the basement of Maslow's house. And I don't even think I'm ready to look for a ladder yet. Like, I just need to kind of sit here. But the reason why I say that, because it's, I think it's been a continuum through the course of COVID. Like, I've started to come up, and then something would just kind of plop you back down. But I'm thinking about what we know about play is that when you're not in a stress-free state of mind, it's impossible to play. So I'm wondering if some of the exhaustion is due to trying to make something happen when really we're just not in the headspace for it to happen. Because we have all of this knowledge, right? We're all play people. So we know the benefits of having a playful experience, a playful life, bringing a playful attitude towards our life in general. But the other reality is that you're not physically, emotionally, or psychologically going to be able to do that if you are a little further down that ladder. And so, I might be repeating myself as well, but are we trying to, damn it, let's just play again and we'll do better? And really, now we are forcing it, so there it's not play because it's something we're forced. And if we're just not in a place of being able to do it, I think that gives us permission to honor that we are in a fragile state. Maybe not medically, but maybe spiritually, maybe emotionally, maybe psychologically. And so sitting in that space becomes what heals us to be able to take a couple steps forward. But what we also know about, especially women in this profession, is that it's often hard for us to sit in that space of being because we're so culturally trained of thinking that we should be doing something. Especially doing something to make somebody else feel better.
Well, and especially with children, it's our job to protect them. We've got to protect them and make sure that they're okay and able to find that happy place that they're supposed to be. But there's also, to your point, it's, if you read the parenting articles and Pinterest, which is like my own personal nemesis right now.
They're all lying. Could we just throw that out on the table? Anybody right now who is like, I wrote a novel and I redecorated my, no, you didn't.
They're crying themselves to sleep with Fritos at night. I know it.
Stop it. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they highlight the 20 minutes that they were able to get themselves together, and the rest of the day they got Fritos in their bra. Just like you just said.
I know. My big compliment to the both of you is I have on real pants today. So there is that.
Oh, yeah. I won't even tell you what I have on in honor of this. Yes, I get it. So the other thing, though, I want to go to Lisa's point. When you're in the basement, right, it's even difficult to think about what to do. You can't because you're in the basement. So what can we do? Like I just remember, thank God I had a wonderful mother, right? I could bring the dining room chairs out of the dining room and put them in the living room and I could go get 8 sheets out of the linen closet, and she said nothing. And I could build a fort or a tent or a magical space because my mom was willing to give up part of the house so that I could play. And then, of course, everything came out of my bedroom because, of course, I wouldn't make the tent in my bedroom. No.
It's
So
never fun there.
Never fun in there. So I'd bring out blankets from the linen closet and throw them on the floor so I wasn't sitting on the hard floor. And I mean, I played in that crazy space, and Mom even let me leave it up, right? So I could even leave it up. In our neighborhood, I've seen parents take their children outside on the front lawn or in the backyard for a picnic. So I think we need to give people some tangible ideas because you can't think when you're in the basement.
Well, I think also, and I realize, Whitney, you were the one that tossed this out here, so I'm aware of not wanting to hijack this conversation.
Have at it, girl. We're all in this together.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking, I'm still back on what I said a few minutes ago about the forcing something. When you look at Peter Gray's conditions of play, right? Number 1, freely chosen, I can quit when I'm done. Number 2, that the end, right, that's a process. It's a process, not the product. So I'm almost wondering if we need to recalibrate on what we're calling play, or maybe reminding ourselves, because a kid laying on their bed staring at the ceiling fan might not be something that we would typically call play. But if right now that's what the child has initiated, and I'm laying here for the sake of laying here, you're already 2 into the 5 of thinking that this could be a very playful experience for this kid that maybe just doesn't fit maybe what I typically might see this kid do.
Absolutely. And we've been seeing a lot of regressions with children.
I don't know if I'd call that a regression though.
Sorry, that wasn't a good word choice, but in terms of, how this, new world is, how children are making sense of it and how it manifests in their behavior. And for some children, it is a little bit of behavior regression, sleeping, especially with like toddlers, bathrooming with toddlers up through elementary school. I've been thinking a lot about it with, in terms of how we all know that children, especially toddlers, with eating and bathrooming, those are some of the few things that they have choice and agency over and play. So that's why those things are so important. Those are the things that they own. So when we're potty training them and we're taking part of that away, why they fight it so hard. I mean, stuff that, of course, but, parents, it's hard for them to think about it. Like, why can't you go in the potty? It's because that's something they have choice over. That's something they own. And with play, that's something they own. And I think too, with the world being what it is right now, a lot of our normal choices, like, am I going to, sit with these friends at school? Am I going to sit here? These choices have been eliminated. And so allowing them to have that free choice and stare at the ceiling, that's their choice. And they need it so badly. They need to have these choices and them laid out, which I think too, when you have a tired parent, it's, making that moment to like, just offer them any choices. Do you want your PB&J on a Hawaiian roll, or do you want your PB&J on a pancake? Whatever, your choice, you get it. Do you want to, I'm just going to let it be. I think too, with the parents being exhausted, it's been one of those perfect times to really let children have free play, which is something for the overscheduled family and child that is so foreign and daunting, to have those true, the kind of summer months, the old-fashioned summer, but it started in March. What do we do with all this unstructured time? It's felt very strange and floaty. And, for some children, that's not having as much choice, and for some children, it's having more choice. So it depends on how they're reacting to it. Because again, with some children wanting to, this is like how it is in those what to expect books. You might be more of this or less of this. Like, it's all across the board, right? With all of these, how anyone's going to respond. But with the children who want to be very, very close to mom and dad, because this is a constant, this is what I know, so I'm going to be as close to that constant as possible, as opposed to I need to be in my own space, in my own head, and the silence is my constant. So it really has taken a lot more listening for children and just letting and seeing what they need. But it is, the 4 o'clock cup of coffee is a real thing to say, okay, I've got to reset, got to do my piece, and letting children play outside unsupervised when that's a safe option for them. It's a whole new world. I think the fatigue that we're all feeling could be a really awesome reawakening for free play if we let it. But it depends on what our children will feel capable of and comfortable doing. But I think it also depends on what a lot of us as parents and educators are letting our children have the choice to do.
So I think I can blend. I don't know if I can or not, but what I'm hearing you say and what I'm hearing Lisa say is that if you just follow their own lead, right? Remember, don't we say that all the time? Follow the child's lead. Don't expect the child to follow your lead. Follow the child's lead. And if we do that, then we're honoring what it is that they're interested in doing. And if it's, Mom, I want you to play a game with me, and I know you're exhausted as a parent, then you should try to find time to play a game with them because they need that closeness and that security. Or maybe they just need to snuggle on the couch and you want to be vacuuming. Well, at the moment.
Do we ever want to be vacuuming?
No,
though? That's
no.
so optimistic, Deb.
This is why I have a Roomba. My Roomba. If you don't have one, best thing I've ever had.
I'm going to start making my Christmas list.
Yes, that's how I got it. Chris said, because my husband, said, I don't buy appliances for you. And I said, I need this one. This one is an okay appliance. And I love it. So just out there for anyone, it's fabulous. But anyway, they need to recognize that they're exhausted and give themselves, it's okay to be exhausted, right? It's okay. But if the child is reaching out.
That's a lot easier said than done.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because a lot of people are going to run themselves through that, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. What's going on? And so we say, sit in that spot. But then what am I doing? Who's helping me process the fact that my brain is going 99 miles an hour thinking about all of these other things, the shouldas and the couldas and the wouldas? How do I calm that?
Yeah.
So I can be fully present on the couch for the 5th movie in a row.
And that's why we probably need a therapist on, because, how all of us go to bed at night and you can't sleep. And so your head's like, oh, I need to do this and this and this and this and this. That hasn't changed.
Well, and I think too, the school that I'll be starting with in the fall, they basically set aside, they said, the first 6 weeks that we're back, our big focus is going to be social emotional learning.
Oh, thank
I'm
goodness.
so thrilled with that, because that's exactly, this has been traumatic for, for the world. This is a whole strange, odd place that, to your point, we're sitting in right now. Calls I get for work, what is August going to look like? What is September going to look like? We don't know. Exactly. We don't know. But our children need to know that it's okay that we don't know, that they're going to be okay. But it is, but then it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. And then we go to sleep like, it's going to be okay. I promise. But finding that comfort in that unknown. I remember I was in a work meeting forever ago, and someone who was a supervisor said, the real sign of maturity is finding comfort in the unknown. And I said at the time, oh, I will never be mature then. Because everybody wants to know what's going to happen next, and with this culture of parenting, of scheduling, and knowing what's going to happen next, and having everything prepared, and the 8 different types of snacks in the car for friends and allergies, and if someone's not in the mood for this at the time, this over preparation that makes everyone crazy and just adds to this feeling of you're never going to be good enough at what you do. I do think that this is our moment to let go a little bit. And just to, again, to what we've been saying, to let these beautiful, smart, capable children explore and do things the way they want to, while at the same time making sure, for our part, that they're safe, that they know that they are listened to, and that they know that we trust them.
Yeah,
But I think a lot of parents, and what causes, or not causes, but what contributes to the exhaustion is that their way of parenting literally has been pulled out from under them.
Yes.
There is no amount of preparation when you have no idea what you need to be preparing for. We've been spending some time talking with teachers who are trying to think about but the requirements when we go back, and the recommendations when we go back, and the reopening. And I keep telling all of them with all the love in my heart, if nobody has given you a plan yet, you're spending all of this mental energy trying to figure out your workarounds, and you don't even know what you might have or have not to work around yet. You're draining yourself dry. And I know that's easy to say, but we got to figure out how to sit in that spot. Or when you do go back, you're going to be even more exhausted because you didn't like hoard your energy. I mean, that sounds not the right way I want to say that, but you got to remember that 80-20 rule. If you're using 80%, you're only going to have 20 left. So right now you need to be using the 20, so you still got the 80 in the tank for when the door does open, or for where that plan does get presented.
Yes. A colleague of mine said, summer's when I normally have my recharge time. This is the time when I'm able to kind of recoup some of that, emotional, physical, intellectual, everything that I give so hard to my children during the year. And this summer I'm not getting it because I'm trying to plan for this unplannable fall.
Yeah.
And it is that, that let go that, I mean, I'm not good at yoga. I can do it, but sitting in that discomfort is hard. It is really hard to do. But to your point, Lisa, I've had to send out these emails to families saying, we are learning to run a school in an entirely new way. All these educational leadership classes I took, I know what to do in case of fire, in case of an intruder. It never mentioned a pandemic, ever. It was never mentioned in any of them. I'm sure the next edition of all of these books will have pandemic covered.
What to
but
do.
For right now, we're going blind.
Yeah, and I think that makes us feel unsafe, right? Because we can't plan. We don't know. We might make a plan, and then in a week the plan is different. I mean, look at what's happening to the sports teams right now. They say, oh, we're going to have a season. Oh, we're going to have a half a season.
And that's
we're
why
going
I'm saying stockpile that energy. Stop being so reactive. You hear some gossip and then you make a plan of attack. Wait until you get something in writing. And even then you got to be flexible. I want to go back, Whitney, to what you said about, because I'm thinking long-term about what you just said about your colleague who said the summertime was with that refueling, right? And we know that our profession is such a give profession. So if you start out already perhaps in a little bit more of a deficit model than you usually do, we're going to need to, and I know self-care is a topic we're going to be talking about at some point here on the Porch Chats too, but that is going to be more than just a buzzword in this coming school year. If you're not mindfully taking care of yourself and refueling yourself, we are not going to be any good to those children and families and parents sitting across the table from us.
And I think that is probably so. What I'm hearing as we're wrapping up, what I'm hearing is that we need to follow children's lead. As parents and educators, we need to not stress about things that we don't know, have a plan for yet, right? We need to take good care of ourselves. And as parents, we need to let some things go. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. We've decided to do quarantine cereals for my kids right now, which are like all the color sugary cereals. That is just our quarantine cereal. We're owning that. You know what? Breakfast is going to be fun. Sure. Why not? No protein. I don't care. You'll get it later. Yeah. But I mean, letting some things go.
You'll have that cheese stick. You'll have that cheese stick.
It'll balance somewhere in there.
I just hope no one gets scurvy by the end of this. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
It will be fine. And I think we have to believe that, right?
Yes.
It will be fine. We are strong. We are resilient. It will be fine.
That's the beauty of having children. Like, even when it feels so hard for all of us, the kids wake up every morning excited for the day. They see the beauty in tomorrow. And, and again, speaking of listening to children, I think it does all of us so much good to really hear them when they bring that to us.
Yes. And not to be the downers of, oh, well, we have to blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Whitney, thanks so much.
Thank you, Whitney.
This was
Thanks,
awesome.
guys.
So, to view other Porch Play Chats, you can visit IPAUSA.org. And until next time, have fun and be safe. And don't forget to play.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.